Hello and welcome. It's the Scorpio full moon community ceremony call. I'm doing it a little early because the full moon isn't until Sunday on the Pacific coast and Monday on the East Coast, but wanted to do it today, so I didn't have a call on the weekend. So welcome. If you don't know me, my name is Judy Keating, and I get to work with Bonnie Salomon as the co-creative managing partner of Wise Transformation, where we help people opening to their soul alignment. Our mission at Wise Transformation is two women intent on bringing elemental wisdom and feminine magic back into everyday life. It's my absolute pleasure to be with you today. So we have an agenda that we go through for every full and new moon call. And I'm going to talk to you about some upcoming events. I'm going to call in sacred space. I'm going to talk about the timing and pose some questions that came to me that are in alignment with this particular timing. Give you a little ceremonial guidance and music so you can journal your own answers. And this will last about approximately an hour. Maybe a little less. So let's dive in. I am so excited that I'm going to be teaching in July the next class of people who want to learn crystalline consciousness technique as a healing modality. Hey, Sandra. So I'm going to be teaching Discovering the Map of Transformation in July. It is a healing technique for our time. It's based on New Earth energy and crystalline grids and Indra's net. So it gives us the three phases of transformation: opening, lifting out chaos, and achieving mastery in our life, whether that be through healing or manifestation or accomplishing something through divine connection. So that's a course that runs over 2 weekends, and the cost is $625. And there is a payment plan if you need it. And all the details are at wisetransformation.com. And also this summer in June, I'm teaching the class Expressing Your Purpose. Now, this is a protocol also based on the crystalline consciousness technique, but it is a protocol that you learn that connects you to your own soul blueprint, the earth, and whatever creative endeavor you're working on. Now, we create all the time, whether we're cooking, cleaning our house, doing a job, playing with our kids. We are creatrixes, so we're in creation all the time. So this particular protocol helps you to learn about being in ease and flow and getting stuff done, really embracing completion in your life. And that class is $200, and it's 1 weekend. So those details can be found at wisetransformation.com. And there's one more thing I want to tell you about before we dive into our contemplation for today. And that is, I'm offering you an invitation to check out the latest offering being given by the Gene Keys team. It's called the Dream Arc, and it is a phenomenal online course that gets you offline. There are so many things in this course that are magical, not the least of which is the connection to bringing your dream life into your waking life through the assistance of 194 different animals that they work with in the Dream Arc. There's art, there's dance, there's wise elders they interview. This is a phenomenal experience. And I want to tell you about it because I've been led to lead a free community support for anyone who wants to do this course. And I'm not teaching the course, I'm participating in the course with you, but I am going to be holding a container, and we'll meet once a month and tell phenomenal stories about how our intuition, our creativity, and our aliveness is expanding and helping to co-create New Earth, which Richard Rudd talks about He doesn't talk about it maybe in the same way we do, but it's very much the same. So it's a course I did want people to know about. And it's in our latest newsletter, the link, and I have the link here if you want to check it out. It's very reasonably priced at $300. But just wanted to let you know about it because I believe that the people that are going to be in this all over the world are really the dreamers that are dreaming the dream forward. And I'm excited to be a part of it and want our community to be a part of it if it calls to them. So I just wanted to be sure to mention it in our upcoming things. The course is available now, and I'll start my year-long support in August. So just wanted you to be aware. So let's open to the living field of creation. In whatever way feels right to you today. We've got a lot of things happening, which I'm going to go into. But just open, allow yourself a deep breath. And if you're on the call, you're probably muted, so you can let it out with a sound if you want. I'm going to have sound on the recording. Oh. And just one more. Breathe in and breathe out with some sound. Ooh. And we just call on the elemental forces, Earth, for a stable container today. Water for the flow. When the water is running and it's moving to keep it clear, clean, and current, we just want to call on that flow. Flow of our emotions in the Scorpio full moon window, flow of our life force, flow of the goodness that is in our life. Just invite the flow of water. And air. I just want to call on the energy of soaring. I've seen a lot of birds recently flying in the sky, using the wind. Just allow yourself to soar. Soaring gives us a sense of freedom. It gives us a sense of perspective. We can look over our life and over our creations in a whole new way when we get up that high. So just invite that energy in today. Excuse me. I also want to call on fire. And, fire is the transformation realm. It's the altered state realm. It's the action realm. And today, I'm just going to call on shamanic consciousness, just because we're in Mercury retrograde. I just think that's a good thing to call in. Maybe some altered states, shamanic consciousness, allow us to look deeply at the fire within and see how it can work with the Scorpio water and the Taurus sun at this not quite full moon time. And then spirit. We just ask to partner with you in any way that is true for us today. You can ask spirit for whatever you need, whatever support, whatever guidance, whatever feeling like you have a partner that you need right now. Just invite spirit into you. Beautiful. Okay, so as I said, there's a lot going on right now. When we have a full moon, and the full moon and the sun are in opposite archetypes, and it can be considered a release phase, but you really want to tune into whatever is true for you around the full moon. Usually for me, it's a time of reflecting. And we do have opposite archetypes going on, Scorpio and Taurus. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about each of those. Scorpio is in the water realm. It is the deepest, darkest water. It is a time to feel all of your feelings, develop emotional maturity. For me, usually by being emotionally immature and figuring that out to grow to be emotionally mature. That's for me. But it's a time to access deep psychic power, intuition, and your sixth sense. You can source deep life force. You can transform and regenerate. You can learn to manage your own intensity or the intensity of the world. You can release what no longer serves you, connect to your sexual energy, and bring shadow to consciousness. So this is a very, very deep time. And it just so happens that we have a Taurus sun. And Taurus is all about how good it feels to be in a body. Sometimes we don't tap into that. If we have pain or struggle, we may not feel that all the time, but Taurus invites you to enjoy the earthly realm of matter. It delights in all that looks beautiful, tastes delicious, and feels pleasurable. It loves receiving all the exquisite things and gratifications the physical realm has to offer. Earlier before the call, I was just like, I want to light a candle. And so I lit a scented candle, and I just enjoyed breathing that in and infusing my environment with this really fresh smell. And that's an example of something you can do. Whatever gives your eyesight pleasure, gives your sense of smell, your sense of taste, your sense of sound, even if it's silence, whatever lights your senses up. And it's all about receiving the exquisite things and gratifications the physical realm has to offer. And it also is the planner. It knows how to take solid steps to fulfill its desires for possessions, wealth, and security. It connects to the divine when it savors and enjoys intimacy through the body and the senses. So we have this deep, deep emotional water, can be shadowy, can be dark, but also is our access point to our deep intuition and our psychic power. And then we have this heightened sense of physical pleasure, both happening at this time. And both of those archetypes are in the feminine, because one is earth and one is water. And so both are on the feminine axis. And the feminine axis is a great time to access that, because Scorpio is about opening to a direct connection to source. Whatever that means to you. How do you source? Just ponder that a minute while I continue telling you what else is happening. We are in Mercury retrograde. So this is a great time to access that inner sorceress. It's a great time to tune out the order of the normal world. It's a time to revise and review things, to revisit things from the past that may need healing. Could be time to do research, definitely time to have more rest. I mean, when you have the Taurus, slow moving, pleasure seeking time, it's not a time to rush, it's a time to rest. It's a time to reconnect. It's really amazing. People from your past may just all of a sudden reappear. It's a time to restore order if you feel like doing that. And it's certainly a time to render completion. So you'll notice that all of the words I just mentioned start with RE. And it's not a time to necessarily initiate anything brand new, but it is a time to dive deep into anything that you find sacred, anything that you need healing with, and to get the support that you need, to receive support. I'll add another one, receive support. So in addition to that, just on today, it's Friday the 13th. And that has gotten such a bad rap, and it never really should have. It's the only Friday the 13th in 2022. So with her permission, I'm going to share writing from Kaylin Castell about this. And the turtle will be explained too. Just want to skim here and find the power of 13. Some say 13 is a number that transcends matter and is coded with the frequencies of ascension, oneness, and unity that transforms all things. Since 13 is a prime number, it is only divisible by itself, representing purity. Thus, the number 13 is incorruptible and exists within its own integrity. Turtles are considered to represent the ancient wisdom of the earth, with 13 segments on their shells. Many believe this has to do with what is called the true lunar calendar. However, 13 is just one of the sacred numbers for the moon, along with 12, 19, and 29.5. There's also information about Friday the 13th honoring the divine feminine in her full power, great beauty, and where the Norse were concerned, her ability to be victorious in battle, embracing death and rebirth. Freya, Venus, was accomplished in the sorcery as well as overseeing the mysteries of sexuality and fertility. Thus, Freya as Venus is a powerful expression of the divine feminine that comes to us from pre-patriarchal times, and many of her stories have survived into current times. So I am asking that there be an activation that when you listen to the recording, even if it's not Friday the 13th, that you be able to access those energies on your inner. So I just wanted to tell you, we have an upcoming Scorpio full moon. We have Mercury retrograde. Today we have Friday the 13th. It's a powerful cauldron we're in, ladies. So now we're going to use our Elemental Forces of Creation Oracle by Lisa Michaels. And the way that I want you to ask what you want to work on today is connect to what you are sourcing currently. What is it you are sourcing? Meaning, what is it that is giving you creative juice? And that could be anything. So ponder that for a few minutes and make a note about what you want to work on in this full moon window. And I'll put on some music. Zandria, can you just nod at me that you can hear the music? Thank you. If you could let me know when you have what you need, that would be helpful. You can do it in the chat. Perfect. And if you're listening to the recording and need more time, you can just hit the pause button here until you have completion. Beautiful. Oops. So as I said, we're going to use the Elemental Forces of Creation Oracle by Lisa Michaels today. And when I pulled a card for the collective, I got structure and form today. But when I asked what question needed to be asked, I was like, where does your body show emotion? Where does your body show emotion? Was the question I got. And if that question doesn't resonate for you, please just ask Earth what it wants you to know, or come up with your own question. And if you want, you can share the card that you drew, and if you have the oracle, but I drew structure and form for the collective. Again, just let us ponder this question or another question with Earth as we're in Taurus, Sun. Okay, if you can let me know when you're complete. If you want to share anything, you can. Beautiful. Thank you, Xander. Put that up there. Hang on. Okay, Xandria says done. The message she got was to go outside into the field of energy and open your senses to all that is. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I'll try to minimize my music button here before we go on. Here we go. Okay, so that's Earth. Just feel that in your body as we turn towards water and the Scorpio full moon. So I pulled holding space for the collective, the water card holding space. And I was led to ask, what is the gift in your shadowy emotions? What is the gift in your shadowy emotions? See what comes up if that question serves. See what you get when you ponder that. If you need more time, you can just pause the recording. Thank you, Zandria. Okay, now we turn from water to air. And I got ethereal allies from the deck for the collective. And, you know, this is a time to daydream. Not only do we have the Taurus energy of going slow and enjoying life, but we're also open to all sorts of portals in the non-linear mental realm, the extraordinary time. So the question I got today was, how can I open to fresh vision and daydream during this time? How can I open to fresh vision and daydream during this time? You really want to allow yourself that gift if you can. Just see what comes up when you think about fresh vision and daydreaming. This is really a time of magic. So I want to encourage you to daydream as much as you can and night dream. You know, ask yourself, what is it I really want? What is it I want to dream into reality? This is truly a magical time. Ah, yes. Zandria shares, take it outside, set intent to daydream, a new vision, accept what comes to you. So thank you, Zandria, for sharing all this because it affirms what's happening for me. I want to share with you, there's a practice that I did about 10 years ago for a consistent period of time, and then I let it go, and I've got, done it intermittently, but I've now recommitted and I do it every day. And it's called Sit Spot. And I go outside and I sit on the ground, and I'll be fully transparent. Because the ground is damp a lot of the time, I sit on a plastic bag or a tarp so my butt doesn't get wet. But I actually make contact with the ground, and I just sit there for 20 minutes. And, you know, some days I have mind chatter. Some days I can really like enjoy being out in nature. I can watch the birds. And some days miraculous things happen. That's really been true over the last few days. And that's why I'm like you, Xandra. I just go outside and I kind of daydream. And it's just proven to be very profound. So it's a practice of making sure that you include that in your day. And I just want to say they've proven through animal observation and other things that if you go outside on a regular basis and you sit for at least 20 minutes, that the animal kingdom comes to accept that it's normal for you to be there, and they actually get closer to you and interact with you in ways that you would never perceive. Just the other day, I was sitting outside, and just so happened my dog's water bowl was about 4 feet from me. And this beautiful bird came and drank from the water and just looked at me and just stayed there with me for a good significant amount of time, and wasn't afraid of me at all, because I was emanating this vision of, you know, this energy of peace. And it was just a beautiful encounter. But it's a great practice to do if you can. So thanks for reaffirming that, Sandra. I appreciate that very much. Yes. So we're going to move from air to fire now. And, you know, we think of fire as the action realm, but I pulled the letting go card. So sometimes, especially in this time of year, as we're, you know, moving into later spring, it's getting warmer. We want to be outside more. It's about letting go. So I pulled letting go for the collective, and really tapping into, in this Taurus sun, about doing what you want to do, meaning doing what lights you up, doing what gives you pleasure, and not doing all that other stuff as much as possible. So where can I allow action to be led by my emotions at this time? Where can I allow action to be led by my emotions at this time was the question I got for fire. Because it really is about letting the water direct the fire. Let the water direct the fire at this time. Beautiful. So this is a very powerful time for tears. And you can have tears of joy. In fact, you know, what led me to share the Dream Arc course and say I'm going to go ahead and help the community by holding a container for it was it gave me tears of joy. And Zandria shares, conjure up joy and ask how to express it in a physical realm. How beautiful. How beautiful. Conjure up joy and ask how to express it in the physical realm. There's really so many ways. That's just wonderful. Thank you for sharing. So tears are powerful, sacred, transformative water. So if you are feeling teary at all, for whatever reason, just let them flow. Let them flow. Okay. So now we turn to spirit. And I pulled life purpose from the deck for the collective. And the question I was led to ask is, what is your soul aching for? And how can you give it? Meaning, if you have an answer to what is your soul aching for, then what can you do about it? Is there something that you can give your soul or some way you can support yourself by moving towards whatever your soul is aching for? That's the question. See what happens when you ponder that one. So I hope you found questions. If these didn't resonate for you, I hope you found questions that worked for you, or you just ask each of the elements what is true for you, what you need at this time, so that you can utilize this profound window. Ah, beautiful. Xandra says, aching to dive in deeply now that I've eliminated multiple focuses. I can do this. Yay. Good job. Yes. Yes, we think being able to juggle is somehow worthy of a medal. But being present and doing one thing at a time is truly gratifying. Truly gratifying. And I look forward to learning about what you're going to dive deep into, Xandria. Thanks for sharing that. So now we're going to look at the big picture. When you look at your answers from earth, water, air, fire, and spirit, what do you get as sort of the unified focus or message, the unified field? What's your takeaway so that you can utilize what you've learned today to access the energy of this full moon in Scorpio so that you can align yourself with your highest desires as we're in the Taurus sun and really open to your unique psychic gifts and bring in whatever's next for you. What's your unified field message when you put all of it together? Okay, so we're coming to a close. If you need a bit more time, you can pause the recording. If you want to share anything, you can. The great news about this being so far in advance of the actual full moon is you can really start practicing enjoying our beautiful, beautiful home, Earth. And you can dive deep into your emotions and really utilize this magical time of non-linearness with Mercury retrograde. Yes, yes. Beautiful. Okay, so thank you for being with me, whether you're here live or on the recording. I truly appreciate it. I always learn from everyone else who shows up. And attuning to these energies really does make a difference. Just like sitting on the ground makes a difference. Attuning to the sky so that we can dive into the archetypal energies is very, very important work. And our next call is going to be a Gemini new moon, and I'm going to be doing it extra early because I really want more people to be able to come. It just so happens that the new moon is on Memorial Day weekend. I think it's that Monday. So I'm going to do the call on Thursday, May 26th at 3 p.m. I didn't want to wait till Friday of a holiday weekend, so doing it extra early so that if anyone wants to participate, they can, and they can still go away for the weekend. So I look forward to being with you then. Let me know at judy@wisetransformation.com if you have any questions about the crystalline consciousness technique classes, or if you have an interest in the priestess process. New circles are going to be starting in August. And also, if you have any interest in the dream arc and being with me for a year as we discover the magic of nature, the elements, creation, dream times together, weaving a new world. Thank you for taking the time to watch these recordings or to be with me live. I wish you the very best, and do yourself a favor, get outside. Okay, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you very much, everyone.